You don't like my choice of music? Are you serious? Come on. It's not getting you pumped up for the show? Okay. Let me take care of that.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show is about to begin.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's showtime, folks!
Abso-freaking-lutely. It's showtime.
Showtime.
Well, folks, I was hoping that by wearing the skunk head and the Habitants jersey that our Flames would be doing better. But our friends at Shore Fishing are winning.
Yep. It's not good.
And I believe they have a bet or something on the line with you.
There's something on the line. Well, that's for you too, because if our
I don't
team
think
loses
so.
tonight,
I don't think so.
we're both doing a show wearing that jersey. So
Well, I'm already doing a show wearing this
I don't
jersey.
think that one counts.
So there we are, folks. And it's Thursday night live, and welcome back.
Welcome.
I'm Dana Lattery.
Now I'm Tim Hepworth. We no place we'd rather be than hanging out with you guys tonight. We look forward to these
Absolutely.
Thursdays. There's nothing like it. What we'll get you guys to do is, as most of you already are, just give us a shout out. Let us know where you're from. Most importantly, what you're drinking tonight. And just let us know that you're here more than anything. What are you
I
drinking?
can never figure this out. There we go.
People skills. It's because I'm lacking them. I figured maybe if I drink more of this.
Well, I don't know if this costume is going to do well for me and my people skills, but
yeah, probably not.
you just let us know where you're from.
Yeah.
And if you're new, buy low is late, but we always procrastinate for a few hours before we actually get going,
Yeah.
tying some flies. So let's say hi to the people.
Let's do it.
Check in with the comments here.
Comments.
I don't even know
There's
how
a few of
far
them.
up to go. Cody Frankie from Olds, Alberta.
Hey, Cody.
Welcome.
What's up,
With
buddy?
Rocky Mountain Fly Shop. Bruce Cameron.
Hey, Bruce.
I need you to say hi. I'm thirsty.
You thirsty? Hey, Bruce. What's up, man? Hope you're doing well. Who else we got? We got Joel,
Joel from Florida.
Florida.
So
I bet it's warmer there than it is here today.
I talked to Gary Bean, and he was down in Florida, and he said, you wouldn't even know the corona existed.
Really?
Yeah, everywhere you go, you don't wear masks, you just hang out and have fun. So, Joel, is that true? Because I'm coming to visit you.
Let's go. When do we leave?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else we got? Adrian, welcome. Sven's back.
Hey, Sven.
Yeah, Sven's back. And he
I
left
wanna know,
work
I want to
early.
know a little bit of his heritage. Where do you get a name like that
Well,
from?
it's
'Cause
not.
that's-
It's
obviously.
his name is like
William?
Will or Bill or
Or
Phil.
Bill or Phil or Craig or Steve.
For 2 points, what's Sven's first real name? Mark, welcome back, brother. Sean Ellison, Rob Merkley, Kyle Odd, Delisle. He got that one out.
Yep.
The
did it.
beer poured and the time to try and tie. Absolutely. Cody,
yeah.
what's up, brother? Brent Struthers and his avatar or his Facebook profile photo is what we up here in Canada call Bell. Gosh, I drink half a sip and burping. That's because
Hefe.
I probably rushed my dinner down a little too quick.
We may have done that. Yeah.
So, Bell, let's talk. Super important day. I don't know if it is an American thing.
I don't know if it is or
'Cause
not.
I know Bell's a Canadian company, but it's mental healthness.
You want to take a break? Mental health awareness.
Okay.
We should just get that blooper reel running already.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Sometimes,
be a long night.
folks,
Yeah.
it's the jersey.
Yeah, it is. It's messing
gonna
with
be
you.
what it is.
Definitely not that hat.
It's I'm trying to speak French. It's not that. Although
Yeah.
I think
The
it's
dead
pretty
animal
cool.
in your head
It's
is
pretty cool.
pretty epic. Yeah. Fits the beard.
Okay.
Okay. Bell talk.
Bell,
Mental health
awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess we're trying to remove the stigma behind mental health and bring awareness to it and understand that it is okay to not be okay. A big part of that, and the reason I bring it up, is because of the podcast Fly Fishing Saves Lives, and it's about telling stories that have to do a lot with mental health and struggles and addictions that people have been with through their life, and how fly fishing has either saved their life, taken them out of these problems, or just kind of been this safe place for them to get away from the problems. And having said that, and the reason this isn't a shameless plug, but it is a plug because I want to tell more stories, and I need you guys, the people with stories, to contact me, and otherwise I don't have stories to tell. So check it out, Spotify and all the other Apple. Not all the other ones. That's the only two I believe. I say that every time. Don't matter.
Apple Podcast, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, back to the comments. Jen Lyle's back. Craig Jones, what's up, brother? Jonathan Westcott's in the house. Bruce Cole, he is back. I think he missed a week. Marvin from Jimmy Creek. And where's Jimmy Creek, Marvin? Please tell us. David Mills, Chaz. Nothing yet. Hang tight. Hold on to your shorts.
Nice try.
All right. So I got behind and on the comments here. So, Tim.
Ooh,
so
just a few.
Okay.
Just a few there.
Roman Quintana.
From Montana.
Welcome, brother. Yeah. So, kind of getting back to the comments here with the fly fishing saves lives and mental health awareness. Obviously, a lot of you understand that that's where we go escape the craziness that goes on in our head. And to be quite honest and vulnerable, the winter for me is very hard because I just feel myself so much from guiding and spending time in the rivers. And if it wasn't for Thursday Night Live, it wouldn't be good. Like, straight up would not be good. The Monday, Tuesday lull is extremely difficult. And, yeah. And Tim, talk about...
buddy. Well, yeah.
What you go through, like, in your... being an EMT and working and seeing stuff that you do and how fly fishing allows you, or how it has allowed you to maintain that job, because that's kind of a cool story.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, initially breaking into the guide industry, I had hoped that I could get away from EMS in general, and that I might be able to find a new career path. And actually what it has done is it's saved my career. It's allowed me to continue working. I have the outlets, like Dana said, winter months are tough, but the tying makes a huge difference. I come back from a call, I take all my tying stuff to work. If I get the chance, just sit in front of the vise for a couple hours or an hour, tie a fly or two, and it just, you understand, it's therapy. It just gets your head away from everything. And what's so interesting about it, and Dana's right, like, there has been a lot of hard days in my career, and there's been a lot of times where I thought I would be done. But and as cliche as it sounds, fly fishing has saved my life. It saved my career. It saved my family. There's a lot of days where you don't feel like being a good human after doing or seeing the things that I see. And it just brings perspective, right? Like, I can just step in the river, and it's the peace that comes from it that changes everything. So honestly, if it wasn't for this lifestyle, not just this lifestyle, the community that's come around it, you guys, like, that's what keeps us going, and it is a hard topic to be vulnerable about, but when it comes to mental health, and I've had to swallow my pride on numerous occasions in this department, but reach out. It doesn't have to be to a psychiatrist or your pastor or your friend, whoever it is, like us. You can reach out to any of us at any time. We may not understand what you're going through, but I bet you we have a pretty good understanding. We've all had our struggles in life, and we have our demons. So basically, to bring that full circle, it's, just don't hesitate to reach out and get help from whatever avenue you need, because I can promise you, you're not alone. We're not, we're vulnerable in this state. We're all susceptible to the blues, to the everything that comes from day-to-day life. And let's be honest, COVID days have been more stressful than normal. This is a time where I don't think any of us could have predicted the way the world would look. And whether it's financial stress or otherwise, it's all very real.
Yeah, and sometimes I get pretty deep into my thoughts, maybe more than often. And I try to be introspective about my thoughts and not let them swallow me. And I was thinking the other day, obviously we've strayed far away from COVID talk and politics, and that's still not gonna happen here. But I think some people feel like failures because they lost their job, they are tight on finances, or they've had COVID and they feel like the leper sent to an island. That's not true. And I just want you guys to know that those are okay. It doesn't mean you're a failure, 100%. And if you tune in to Thursday Night Live and you just sit here and watch and hang out with us and you meet some pretty cool people, by all means, 100% why we're here. Yeah, we're tying flies, and I think the flies are kind of like the fish when we go fishing. It's kind of the bonus, and maybe it gives us the purpose to say that's why I tune in to Thursday Night Live. But definitely this is an open forum, and this goes beyond Thursday night. We're pretty accessible on Instagram, Facebook, however you want to reach out to us. And I'm not just saying that lightly, because it is time consuming if 10,000 people reached out. But at the same time, I have time and I don't mind having a good phone call. And I know some of the people that have tuned in here have reached out and we've had very good conversations. And not all those conversations become a podcast. And some of them do. But yeah, it's just a community, all of us together. I don't like when people say we're all in this together, because I don't think that's true. But we will only get through this together if that makes it better.
And we're certainly stronger together.
Yeah. And like Jade says, this has brought so much joy and light to my world despite everything going on. Thank you guys. I wish I could take credit, but I just show up here wearing a skunk head and third-rate jersey because I lost rock, paper, scissors to Tim.
Yep.
Before this. So, anyways, when is the Tim Hepworth episode dropping? We're keeping you guys in suspense.
Yeah. Someday.
Tell my story. Soon enough, but it's not about me. It's about you guys. So, okay. Where are we at here?
Catching up.
Benoit is a firefighter and a first responder.
I didn't know that, Benoit.
I didn't either. And so it's
awesome.
funny when you just start to talk, you start to learn and listen to people and learning a lot of stuff. So,
and what you'll find is, just like Benoit said in his comment here, the more you reach out and you are vulnerable and what you're about, what you're doing, and he's saying right there too, anytime, reach out. We're here to help. We're here to talk. Like, I think in general, that's our community. And that's what's pretty cool about it.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. Almost gives me goosebumps when everybody strives towards a common goal, and I think that goal is just making better people or helping people through this. Yeah. And I'm not sure what about fly fishing does that. Perhaps why I ventured into this podcast is because I've been fascinated with fly fishing and the I don't know the word, eccentric, eclectic, spiritual, this whatever you believe in, this weird thing that fly fishing does for us in a good way. And every episode we get a few new people in, and it's cool. It's super cool. Mark, love to just be here and hang out with you both and all, and we appreciate you tuning in. And one day there will be a massive reunion.
I know. But we can all hang out together.
I don't know where we'll go fishing if there's a river big enough for all of us. So before we jump forward, what fly are we going to tie first? And then you guys can get your thread going. And then I just want to share a little something about the podcast. And then we'll come back and we'll get tying.
So we're going to start off with our Guide's Choice Hares Ear tonight. So what I'm going to be using for a thread on this, traditionally this fly is tied with a hot spot up front. So it's easier to just tie the whole fly with that color of thread. Red, orange, pink, any of those will do. Tonight I'm going to be using red, and I'm going to use a 70 denier or an 8/0 thread. And that's what we'll get going on this first fly with.
Perfect. So you guys throw your bobbins together. Inside joke.
Inside joke.
And I just want to play this little audio clip here with a bit of graphics, and we'll come right back. Tell me a story. Something we've all said or heard in our lives. Stories bring us together around the campfire. Storytelling has earned its place as the most important tradition humans possess. The most important reason for this being that every story contains a lesson. Lessons to love, to forgive, to be just, and to strive for better than we have. They empower us, they lead us, they comfort us. Born in Alberta, raised in the backcountry, fishing, hunting, nature, the wild, all run thick in my blood. Growing up a Canadian boy, I had a similar dream to most other boys my age here, to make the NHL. When that dream was yanked from beneath my feet, how could I carry on? My story is full of hope, inspiration, joy, heartbreak, heartache, and resiliency. My name is Dana Lattery. I'm a fly fishing guide in southern Alberta, an ex-professional hockey player, and a storyteller at heart. Having spent the past decade guiding thousands of fly fishermen from all over the world, I've heard so many stories that paralleled mine. Stories of pain, brokenness, tragedy, from all different walks of life. The more time I spend with them, the more I realized that we all shared one common thread. Fly fishing saved our lives. Grab your favorite drink and join me on this journey as our story begins. All right.
What's up?
We definitely changed our attire.
It's a little warm.
We couldn't do that forever, so.
No.
Yeah, so if you're just tuning in, welcome. Thursday Night Live was created 3 years ago at a local brewery in Calgary where we met when we could with other people in our community. And so we supplied all the material to tie the flies that we walked through, just like we're doing now. And we continued this up until last year in March when COVID sent us home. We had to change things and build a studio and keep going. So season 3 is happening right now, and this is episode 6.
Yes.
Or so. And so what we've done this year is we've made more of these kits, and so we've been able to sell them and get them to people that weren't local to us. And so just reading a question here. Anyways, it's not a raccoon hat, it is a skunk hat. And so by building these kits and selling them to you guys, we've included in the kit both of the patterns that we tie during a night, as well as material-ish to tie 2 of these flies on your own. And the idea there is that you tie them both tonight or tie one, and then all these videos are stored on YouTube, and you could go back and tie it at your pace because you can pause the video there. Having said that, as Tim gets going on tying this, SOS.
Yeah.
Enter SOS in the comments and we will stop, pause, and we will wait for you. Because we don't really have anywhere to go, and neither do you. So
No,
typically this runs for about 2 hours and give or take an hour or 3. and sometimes we drink 2 beer and a lot more. That's if Tim has a ride, and he does not have a ride tonight. He also has to work bright and early tomorrow.
That's true.
Being, what do you call yourself? A civil servant.
Yeah, I guess something like that.
Politically correct.
Politically correct.
Okay. Does Rocky Mountain Fly Shop sell the Habs jerseys or Tim's t-shirt? So yeah, Rocky Mountain Fly Shop is now a shore dealer, and they are also, I don't know if this cat's supposed to get out of the bag, but they might sell the vices that Tim's using. So check them out, and if you don't know who they are, you're gonna after this minute. So hold tight.
There are a lot of great rotary vices on the market, but only the Norvice spins the hook. It's for this reason that it's been said the Norvice is the most innovative fly tying system on the market.
We all deserve the right to stay organized, no matter what or where your space is. Your Flykia table will turn any space into a well-organized fly tying realm. Own your domain.
Oh, mic check.
Mic check.
It muted us. We're cut off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So Tim's going to get ready to tie. So if everybody's got their bobbins ready. Nice. Nathaniel Shell on YouTube is here watching live. Yeah, so lots of people have been in to check out Rocky Mountain Fly Shop, and that is fantastic. Wes Pollard, he is new. And I just want to answer one question, maybe two, about hockey. Hockey is the connection to WMU. That's where I had a scholarship and got to play hockey there for 4 years. And then the other one, Binghamton. No, I did not play against Binghamton. But yeah, we can talk hockey later. Let's tie some flies. And where's this camera? Right there. Keeps muting you. Doesn't like you.
All right. Okay, guys, so if you've got the kits that we have got out to you guys, this is going to be Season 3, Episode 6. Go ahead, be careful when you're going into the bags, as always, because there are loose pieces that are in there. So you're going to have 2 different bags. One's going to have all this black material in it. That's going to be our Leech we'll do next. And then you're going to have this other one, which is our guide's choice, Hares Ear. And then you're going to have bead and a couple hooks in your bag, so just be careful when you empty them out. They don't go everywhere.
Do you need like a back rub, or like your motivation level seems to be at 0?
What are you talking about?
Like maybe I crank up the beats or something.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to listen to this. I don't even know what this music is.
I could change it. Okay, hang on, guys. Tim's not pumped up. If Tim the Tire isn't pumped up,
we're in trouble.
Show's gonna fall apart.
We're in trouble.
Okay.
Okay.
Tie the fly.
So in your package there, we're gonna go ahead and get that bead placed on the hook. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop this fly out here. So I know it's kind of simple, but just for a little instruction, when you're putting the bead, your hook in your bead, you want to put the pointy end of your hook through the small hole on the bead. So there's going to be, on one side there's going to be a larger hole, and on the other side there'll be a smaller hole. And you want to make sure that you get the hook point into the small side. Go ahead and get your hook secured in your vise. And we will go from there. So like I said earlier, I'm going to use this UTC 70 in red that I'm going to tie with today. So all we're going to do is go ahead, get our thread started just behind the bead. Okay, lay a nice thread base down. Get rid of that tag. That did not break very smoothly.
How many times have you broke today?
I've actually cut my thread at least twice today tying, so that's not a good sign.
The odds are good.
The odds are good you'll see it a third time. So let's just work that thread right back into the top of the bend. You don't want to go into the bend of the hook. Just stay right up on top, just behind the barb of the hook. From here, we're gonna get our first material in. So go into your materials there. The next material we're gonna be putting into this fly is, I'll show you where we get it from. This is hare's mask. So I'll show you how it's kind of a clump here. You're not gonna need, we gave you way more than you're gonna need. But you do want to keep those tips fairly, will stay aligned or together, because we're going to pull a clump off, pull the underfur out, and then we're going to use this as our tail. But where this actually comes from is if we had a hare's mask like this. Open this up. We got a hare's mask here. So this is a full-on little bunny head.
Hang on.
So full-on little bunny head here. So you're going to see...
Wait, is that your hat?
It's the whiskers throwing. Anyways, you're gonna have this darker colored fur kind of down between the eyes and then right at the base of the feathers. And you're gonna wanna find stuff that's got some nice long guard hairs. So not only do we use this for instance, in the hare's ear or the guide Choice Hares Ear is the tail, but this is what gets mixed into dubbing. So if you're custom making dubbing or you're mixing it in your hand a little batch at a time, we like those long guard hairs because it makes everything look really buggy. On this, we're gonna use it as a tail, but if you used it for dubbing, it just makes everything look buggy. So if I come in here and I take a good pinch of this stuff, I like the stuff at the base of the ears. You can see it's got nice dark colorations. That's where I like to grab tail material from. We're just gonna go in there and take a snip. That's what we've done for you. That's what you have in front of you, okay? I'll get that out of the way. So we wanna take a generous clump, but not get too out of hand here. So I'm gonna kind of separate some off. I'm gonna grab a decent chunk. Keep fingers up on those tips because you got a lot of underfur that we're actually gonna pull out. This underfur is, you just don't want to use it. We're really focused on getting the tips of the feather.
Would one of the rabbits running around Calgary work?
Definitely. Yeah, winter one's not so great. The color's not right. Wait for that spring change to happen.
Put him in your basement for a few weeks and he'll turn dark.
Yeah,
again.
He'll darken up. Yep. Put him under a good lamp. Okay. Dana, I'm going to get you to come a little tighter on me here on this other camera.
Oh, you
I had to call him out.
had to ask.
He must be busy answering questions or something.
Yeah,
That's okay.
I was. Sorry. What I'm actually trying to do, here's what's funny. If you guys don't know Cam, he's over here on YouTube. Hey, I'm just checking out on YouTube. And then a minute later, he's back on Facebook.
That bunny was on
Remember New Year's?
Yeah, I do.
He could not figure out where to
Figure out
watch.
where he was watching from.
That's why we love Cam.
Too good. That's why he's a top fan sometimes.
Sometimes.
Okay, so you can see this generous clump I have here. It does look like a lot, but once I pull out some of the underfur, you're gonna see that gets a little smaller. So I wanna secure my fingers around the tips. I don't wanna lose those, but we got all this fluff back here. We're gonna pull out all that underfluff that we don't want. Discard it. It's still gonna seem like a big clump up here, but we're gonna be trimming that, okay? So I have here, I still think that's maybe a little bit too much. I'm gonna pull a little bit off of the clump. And it just takes getting used to doing a few flies before you really get the proportions. But I like that, I like the look of that. I like a nice kind of short bushy tail in this. How I'm gonna measure this is I'm gonna take the very tip of those fibers and I want those to extend basically right to the bend of the hook while placing my thumbs on the eye of the hook. Okay, so that I'm gonna translate that to my other hand. Put over here. I'm gonna leave this here. I'm gonna take a gathering wrap over top of that material. Make sure I got it nice and secure right on top of the hook shank. Then take a few wraps to lock it down. And then while keeping my fingers on it, I'm gonna work my thread wraps back to just to the top of the bend, okay? And that's the tail I'm looking for, okay? Wanna take it just to the edge of the bend without going into it. And then I'm gonna come back forward with my thread, making sure I've got that all locked in. Now I'm gonna come up underneath this and just trim out this this under fur that we had on there. And you're gonna see that once you trim it out, it actually doesn't leave much of a butt on there. And we're gonna be putting dubbing on this anyway, so we're not too concerned about it making a big change in the profile of the fly. Okay, so that's first step. Now in your packaging, you're gonna see we put in this like gold tinsel. So you could use gold wire, you could use just a different colored thread. Sometimes you use yellow thread. This is kind of a neat material. It's like a tinsel material.
Oh, that's neat.
It's very neat, isn't it? Wire is also good. Wire, you have a little bit more. You could make the body a lot more plump, we'll say, with dubbing, and then really wrap it down hard to try to get segmentation. But I really like the way this stuff shines. It's got some nice reflective qualities. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in, we're just gonna secure this to the top of the hook. And we're gonna work it back to the back. Now, as I go back, what I wanna do is I wanna use my thread wraps to force this material to finish on the far side of the fly. So for you guys, it would finish over here on the front side. So near side of you wanna keep it away from. When you finish getting to the back, all I'm gonna do is use my thread wraps to push it to the other side. And we'll show why that's important here in a moment.
Do you have a nail sponsor yet?
Still waiting on one.
Still waiting.
I'm gonna keep chewing these nails till I get one.
Yep.
That's my commitment to you
I'll
guys.
chew 'em for you.
Was that a beaver hat or a skunk?
Yeah, well, it's both. How about them flames? Someone give us an update.
Yeah, where are we at
Apparently,
with that?
when I doze off to do other things, you yell at me. It's a bad relationship.
I believe I used a very calm and supple tone.
Yeah. Hey, you want
supple?
to
That's I like
come a little closer
Yeah.
on this fly?
Just
Oh, look at
throw it
that.
out there.
Sven says hashtag top fans goal, like he wanted to get it.
Yep.
And, well, I
Asked
granted him
and
his
I
wish.
received. Nice, top fan.
I granted him his wish.
Quinn, is that 4-0 for the Flames or
Yeah.
for the Habs?
Considering it was 2-0 for the Habs.
Oh, this is not looking good. We might be wearing jerseys for a whole
Oh,
for a whole
jeez.
episode.
We
coming
only
up here
have
soon.
one. Do you have to sit on my lap?
No.
And wear it together?
Benoit said he would send us one.
Oh, okay.
So that's a men's size extra small, if you're wondering. That other one I
Mine was a
swimming
triple
in.
XL.
It was taut.
It was.
You know when you overfill a water balloon and you're just scared to
Yeah.
touch it because you don't know what's going to happen.
Oh,
Okay, anyways. Also what you're going to have in your package is this is Hares Ear dubbing. So this is great dubbing material. It's got a lot of those fibers in it. So this has been mixed from a few different places of fur.
tavern. I could say it. It's
Yeah.
We're teaching the kids about swear words, and we tell them that the word's only bad if the intention behind using the word is bad.
Oh, really? That's how it works?
Well, that's my theory. Tie the fly.
Didn't know that. Okay. Here we go. So this is the material we're going to use for the body. So go ahead and grab a pinch. This is actually one of the easiest of dubbings to get onto your thread. I really like the way it goes on. We're just going to make a nice little dubbing noodle. So I'm going to come up, place a little bit. And again, we're playing that baby violin with our fingers here. One direction only. Okay.
Here, again.
Not going back and forth.
Your favorite band. One Direction.
One direction.
Eric was sure said he'll send you the pink Habs shirt.
Oh, man.
Well, as long as Benoit has worn it.
Yeah, as long as it, yeah, touche. Jeez. It went from a Habs jersey to a pink Habs shirt. I don't know if I like this.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start that dubbing right back at the base of that tail, making sure we cover up our thread wraps as we go forward. I wanna keep that dubbing nice and tight. We do wanna make a bit of a taper. We want it to be building in bulk as we go forward. So as I'm going, all I'm doing is retwisting that dubbing to tighten it up. Now, we are gonna put a little collar of peacock herl. So I want to leave myself a little bit of space. Okay, so I want to give myself like a good bead width behind the bead to work on that. So now you can see what I was talking about with those guard hairs, how buggy that makes that body appear. Some of them are a little bit errant and they've kind of gone off on their own, so I'll snip those out. But for the most part on the body, we like to have those guard hairs. Okay. So next piece of the puzzle here, I'm gonna grab that gold tinsel that we had. Just gonna throw a half hitch in this just to get my thread out of the way. Now, the reason that I push that all the way to that side is this. If I were to leave it on the near side to me and then go to take the first wrap, it's gonna grab that tail and twist it. It's gonna make it wanna not sit naturally like it is now. So if I were trying to come this way, watch what happens if I do that first wrap this way. Okay, it pinches down on that tail.
Do you
versus
usually spin dubbing on?
do I usually spin dubbing on?
Mark.
So
He's-
yeah,
Mark, him and Cam, he's over on YouTube and he's here and he said YouTube's ahead of Facebook.
Oh, gotcha.
So maybe on YouTube they're already done the fly.
maybe. I don't know how, but maybe. Yeah, Mark, if I'm doing a ton of these, yes, I use the Norvice function to spin dubbing on. It's super slick and fast. But to be honest, on a fly that's this small with very little dubbing going on, it's as quick for me to just make a short dubbing noodle and keep going. But there are flies that obviously even a larger size of this fly would be easier if I use the Norvice function to do it. But mostly on the show here, I'm not going to use those techniques simply because not everybody's tying on it. So I'm going to continue to show you kind of the more basic way of doing it. Hope that answers your question. Okay, so I'm going to take and start wrapping, just open spiral wrapping this gold tinsel forward till I get off of the dubbing. And I'm secured off. So a couple wraps behind it, a couple wraps in front of it, and we know it's good and secure. Snip it out.
The good thing about the tinsel is just that. You can just cut it with your good scissors.
Yeah, don't need to use Dana scissors for that.
What?
Okay.
I'm kind of upset at you.
Yeah, I know, it's okay. Next,
Wait.
what?
I want to tell people why I need to make another circle up here so I can put my face in the screen.
Yeah, you might need to. You're just that lonely voice in the distance at this point.
Carry on.
Carrying
I'll bring
on.
up my beef later.
Yeah, jeez. Peacock herl. All the lovely things we know about it. Great material, also fragile. So be careful when you're putting this in. First thing I will do is I'm going to go in and take about the top inch of it and break it off. It's super brittle up at the top of it, and then we'll go from there. So I'm going to take it. We're just using one piece. You could use two pieces of peacock herl to make it bulkier quicker, but I'm just going to wrap back over and over and over to kind of create some bulk. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to tie this in just ahead of that dubbing. Secure the tip down because that's the worst part. If you don't, you might lose it. I'm going to half hitch again just to get my thread. And guys, the half hitch is underrated. And I say this because I've done this enough times to lose the material that I've been working with. Throwing a quick half hitch, which is just an overhand knot, it just saves your work. It's like hitting the save button when you're in the Word document. You don't want to accidentally delete it all. Just hit save, throw a half hitch on it, move to your next material, okay? So what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna take this guy, my peacock herl. I'm just gonna make a nice little spot here. I don't wanna go right up to the hook, or right up to the bead, sorry, because I'm going to still put in a soft tackle. But it's okay if I put it too far forward because I can wrap back over top of it. Okay, so I'm just gonna go a couple wraps in front, a couple wraps behind, and repeat. Now this fly would probably fish just fine, just as is, but we're gonna continue one step further. So, soft tackle, it's a bit of a game in itself. It's not only do you need to have the right feathers for it, I will say the right technique in putting it on, but some people find it really frustrating, but hopefully I'm gonna kind of break it down for you and make it simple to learn how to tie in, at least on a simple pattern like this. But yeah, so a lot of questions always come from where do you get a soft hackle feather from? Like if I've got a saddle hackle cape, I'm looking at it and I can't figure out where to grab a feather from. Well, the honest truth is it's the wrong cape. What you need to have is something like this. I'll show you what I'm gonna use out of today and what we kind of put in your guys' kits. This is just a soft hackle hen. This is in speckled brown, which I really like for this specific fly. As you can see, not an expensive cape. For under 15 bucks, so 12 bucks there you can have a cape like this in Canadian. So in American, that's like $3.
$3.
Super cheap. The reason we want feathers like this is we want them to be short, stubby, and have very consistent feather length. So when we're tying them in, you don't want to have like super short and super long feathers or fibers on that feather when making a soft hackle. I think the next biggest mistake a lot of people make is they put on too many wraps of the soft hackle, which just adds too much to the bug. We don't want an overabundance of those fibers. We're just trying to simulate movement. We're trying to simulate legs. Just don't overdo it, okay? So in your kits, you got some of these.
Okay.
Yeah.
Slowly do a half hitch to show it better.
Sure. So half hitch. Lots of different ways of doing it. There's even different half hitch tools that will do it. But most tools aren't gonna fit over a bead like you would do at the end of a dry fly or something. So for instance, Shore, one of the cool things they've done with their whip finisher, and I actually really appreciate these little touches, is they've got this little hole on the end of their whip finisher. Well, that's perfect. That's essentially a half hitch tool. Now, if I was to be using a tool, I'll just show you kind of how I would do it. You just go wrap around once, twice, or even just once, and then you would go up and over the hook and slide that knot down and onto the bead. Because that hole in the end of this one isn't big enough to get over a bead, how we do that with our fingers. So I'm just gonna come in with 2 fingers. I'm gonna take that, I'm gonna wrap around my fingers once, right? And I'll try to turn sideways so you can see. Now that hole that I've created there is just the center of a knot. So all I'm gonna do is slide that over top of the bead, let one finger out, and then just pinch the thread and draw it in. Draw it out of my fingers until it locks in. So again, 2 fingers. Wrap around your fingers just like I would a tool. Now I'm gonna slide that far piece of the thread across in front of the bead, pinch it, let it slide through my fingers, and there you have it. That's your half hitch, okay? Simple ways of doing it with tools. I'll actually show you, I'll show you when I'm done this one, how to do it with a tool. But that's with your fingers, pretty simple process, okay? So,
Mike, I believe it was Mike. Mike, if that didn't answer it and you want to see it again, let us know.
yeah, just let us know. At any time, guys, if you got questions pertaining to, well, anything, but specifically to the fly we're tying or techniques that I'm using, we have used some of these techniques before, so I'm kind of streamlining it a bit. I'm not always fully explaining. If you need that explained, no problem. Just shoot us a message, let us know, okay? Okay, the fun part, our soft hackle. So here's one of those hen cape feathers. Another really good one for soft hackle is Hungarian partridge or a gray partridge. They're expensive though. That's an expensive cape, but really, really good. So not a lot of them, you don't see a lot of them get used because they're expensive and people save them for different flies. But
and you didn't get any.
I tried to shoot one all season and I actually shot at a couple, but very flighty bird, very difficult to
Well,
get.
folks,
And they're
I
only
don't
this
think
big.
we're going to give credit to the bird. I've been with you in a
Yeah,
blind,
in a blind.
watching you shoot. And
The key is to not shoot, just point, and when the bird falls, you call it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the birds are flighty, but
Yeah. Okay, how I'm gonna prep this feather. So you can
so
see.
just hold tight.
Yep.
One question is from YouTube, which apparently is 3 minutes ahead. So Nathaniel says you could one turn whip finish.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so the thing with the whip finish is you got to grab a tool.
Yeah.
And the half hitch, it's just your fingers and you're rocking and rolling.
Yeah, and some of the purpose behind a half hitch tool, guys, like I said, is just to quickly save your work. But then imagine I'm tying a super small dry fly. I'm not gonna whip finish that most likely. I'm gonna use a half hitch tool like I showed you on the end of here, because as I put a couple wraps on and slide it up against that hook and wanna slide the knot off, I actually wanna like get, you know, if it's a dry fly with hackle feathers, I wanna get those kind of pushed out of the way. And otherwise, if I'm gonna do a whip finish, I gotta grab those feathers, pull them back and whip finish and stop. I prefer to just use the half hitch tool and do it.
And you quickly learn you're not an octopus.
Yes, you quickly learn. You've only got 2 hands. Okay, we ready?
Well, I'm ready.
Ready to talk hackle
My
feathers.
fly's almost done.
Okay, so I'm gonna grab all this fluffy junk and I'm just gonna peel it off the fiber, off that stem, okay? Pull that off, get that out of the way. So this is the feather I have to work with. Another thing you might wanna have with you here is some hackle pliers, okay? Of some kind, doesn't really matter. Just something to hold the stem, can make it easier, okay? So I'm going to grab the very, very tip of this feather and I'm gonna pull the fibers rearward, okay? I'm gonna create a little triangle at the top that I'm not gonna use, but this is where my tie-in point's gonna be. But it's important that I have an equal amount of fibers pulled out on the front as I do on the bottom, okay? Sorry, that's out of the shot there so you can see a little better. And now the next piece is you're gonna see that there is an underside to the feather, which would be this side, because if you look at it, it's bland in color. It looks almost faded versus the nice dark top side that's on the top of the curve, okay? What's important about this is we wanna use the direction we lay this feather in and tie it in. We want the direction of those fibers to point rearward so they naturally sit back like the hackle fiber we want to make this nice soft hackle fly, okay? So I'm gonna take it like so. I'm gonna get those fibers pointed rearward. I'm gonna set this right in that little opening I've made for myself between the peacock curl and the bead, and I'm gonna tie it in right there, okay? With those fibers pointed rearward. Really lock this down, take some wraps in front of the stem and behind, and we'll go in and trim out that stem. Really make sure that's locked down though, guys, because once we start pulling on this hackle feather, the last thing you want is for it to pull out, okay? And they are, that center
That's
stem.
not good.
No, you just gotta start over, it's frustrating.
You pull out.
But that center stem is quite brittle, so we can't pull super hard. So I'm gonna do a half hitch, get my thread out of the way. Now I'm gonna go in. I wouldn't even really need to use a hackle pliers here, just because I have such a long stem on this guy. But what I wanna do is I wanna pull, as I'm laying this down, I wanna pull those fibers rearward. So I'm coming in like so, grabbing those fibers and almost pinching them. So I want them to definitely go rearward, okay? And all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start wrapping this forward. Nice tight wrap, but I only wanna do maybe 2, maybe 3 turns. Okay, I don't wanna put too many fibers down here. This is where I was talking about people putting down too much. I personally like 2 good full wraps, and I'm happy. Okay, that's just 2 right there. And I'm kind of fluffing them up as I go, because I want all those fibers to stand up. Now I'm happy, that's 2. And you're gonna see here when I tie this off, you kind of gotta snake your thread down in to kind of not lock down any fibers that you wanna use. Get a nice wrap and to lock that down, and then immediately save that wrap by going in front of it as well. Okay, I like to go one more time on the back side of it and one more in front. Now this is where it gets tricky. You want to get in there and snip it really tight without trimming out any of those fibers that you laid in there. So I come in real close, take a real good look at what I'm doing.
You're not even shaking.
I'm shaking pretty good, aren't I? And snip it out. Okay.
Ooh.
Whew.
Ooh.
And now I'm going to pull those fibers rearward, like so. Put a couple thread wraps down.
Make it
Remember, I'm going to make that hot spot. I'm going to kind of bush up. I actually didn't trim that quite short enough, because you can see if you left any
things are
stem.
about to go south.
Yeah, things might go south here. There we go.
Oh, that was absolutely fantastic.
Wasn't that? Once again, speaking to good scissors.
Oh.
Little plug.
Little plug.
And all I'm going to do is whip finish here, guys.
Benoit said, good thing you had sharp scissors. We read your mind.
Yes, indeed. So all I'm going to do, guys, again, back to my whip finish tool. And there's something I'm going to say here. I'm going to give Dana a little bit of credit, because he said something today to me that actually made a lot of sense.
Hang on, folks. That's Dana. Okay, and I'm getting the credit. So I've been hanging out over here.
Yeah.
This fly is taking way too long.
Oh, well, that's
I haven't
'cause you
been
won't
on
leave me
camera
alone.
for like 7 minutes. And I'm trying to find my sound effects tab. And yeah, there it is. Okay, sorry about that. That was about me for a second.
Yep. Are you done being selfish yet? Or,
yeah, okay. Go ahead. I'll be over here.
Well, I was trying to compliment him, and he was just, Anyways, really good thing Dana said to me, and I just never really have thought about it a lot. But especially on flies like this, where you figure the perfect amount of thread wraps behind that bead, you're happy with it. Now, what happens if you go to whip finish, and lots of times we get into our whip finish, and it falls off our whip finish, or it moves, and we lose a bunch of thread wraps. If we lose enough that it loosens up that fiber or that feather we just laid down, we lose all our work. So really simple suggestion, he said, is before you whip finish, just go in and do one more half hitch.
Boom.
Done. And now you've saved everything. You don't have to worry about it. You could fumble around with your whip finisher all day, and if it pops out and drops, I lose nothing, because it's already
Cool
done.
thing about that is, and you can practice whip finishing through that.
Mm-hmm. You can.
Because sometimes you think you got the whip finish, and you throw it together, boom, short scissors.
Boom. Just like that.
How sharp are those?
I can't believe I got through that without cutting my thread.
Well,
The night's
I'm
young.
impressed.
So guys, that is the Guy's Choice Hares Ear. The last finishing touch I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go ahead and put on a little bit of good old hard as nails Sally Hansen. I really like this this, we'll call it resin or head cement, for this specific type of fly. I love it for nymphs, unless if I don't have to build up some type of epoxy head or something, I like to use this. Now I've just put a little bit on my bodkin. I'm just gonna come in so I can not get any going back too far in the fibers, that feather, just touching my thread wraps all the way around. That's gonna soak in there really nice. Give it a nice little glossy sheen to it. Sheen. And that's a wrap on our Guide's Choice Hares Ear. Don't overlook it, guys. It's a good fly.
It is a great fly. So Ben Armstrong said, "Do not confuse. Do not, not donut. I'm not sure. Hang on. I'm back to winning the award for the worst background music, and I'll fix that because I can." And what I was gonna say is Ben said, "Don't mistake the hot spot for the good spot."
Okay.
Not sure what the good spot is.
Yeah, not sure.
That's what he said. Look.
The good spot, yeah.
The good spot. And now Trevor says the good spot is a myth.
Yeah, that's true. Doesn't exist.
Is it German, like Guden spot?
I think you just gotta have the right accent.
Yeah, I don't know.
I bet Sven could say
good
it.
Spot. That's a bit.
Yes.
Yes, Sven. You're welcome, and we're glad you got your top fan. And
Yeah,
I believe
truly.
you're getting some sharp shore scissors.
Sharp for shitters.
And maybe it'll tickle your good spot. The Guten spot, William Hagen.
Man.
Welcome,
But if you
brother.
find it, you let us know where it is.
The one thing the internet has not given away
Yeah,
is the good spot.
The good spot.
It's given away a lot of good fishing spots,
Yeah.
but not the good spot.
No.
So,
not the good spot.
Sven, we appreciate you tuning in, and we're just here. It's you guys again. Without these comments, we're not funny. And Jim James William Crawford just got here, so welcome. Back where I come from, without the bead head, we call that a cruncher.
Cruncher.
Yeah, Norman Wells, I believe you're in the Bahamas.
Yes.
Chris Nelson, we just finished the first fly, and we've got a bunny leech coming up.
Bunny leech coming up.
Somebody's wife is dying. Oh, Chaz. But do not Google the German Gusspot.
No.
Is fly tying considered a sport or a hobby?
Oh man, if this is a sport, I don't want to play it. No, this is a hobby, and it should be an.
Is this a joke?
Yeah. Definitely not a sport.
Hillbillies taxidermy.
Hey, buddy. That's Andy.
Okay, so Andy, the kit we're talking about is we sold out this year already. So basically, we've made 80 of them this year, which is a pretty incredible undertaking. And so what you get when you order a season kit is this. And, all 20 episodes. And in your kit, so you're going to get all the material to tie both patterns twice. You also get that pattern already tied. So walk away with 2 flies and throw the materials in the garbage, and it's still worth the price of admission.
Yep.
Next year, I think we're going to try to do around 300. But
Yes. Lots of
we're to start tomorrow.
news to come about that. But yeah, like if that's in, well, I mean, that's our goal. We'd love to see the interest be at that level. So, yeah, stay tuned. But yeah, we better start tomorrow.
Do you know him? Is he in Calgary?
Yeah. So actually, Andy is from he's from Bowden. He's the one who's doing my elk skull for me.
Okay.
He does European mounts and other taxidermies. So, yeah.
Nice. So, yeah, what we do is we have 20 kits we put at the brewery in Calgary, Bow River Brewing, every week. So that's just kind of our give back to the community in the Calgary area. And if you want to pop down there on Wednesday, you can pick up a kit for next week. Okay, so Scott, do 300. 300.
I know we missed a question that was above that a ways. It was a question about being a new fly tire. So if we don't get it and you're listening to me hear this or say this right now, just retype us the question because I was going to answer it and then we move past. The comments come in really fast, guys, and they shuffle on us. So it was a good question, but I just can't remember exactly what it was. But ask again.
Yeah.
Just ask again.
Yes, we're going to start building. Doug's in. Time for a wobbly pop. There might be a sleepover night to package those. Yes.
Yeah,
So
more than one.
I'll tell you what. As soon as the restrictions can lift and they allow people to gather-ish, people can come here. The basement's not huge, but it's big, and we will have a sleepover.
We would love to have a
party.
sleepover. Yeah.
And then Sven, you can tune into the after hour.
Yeah.
Okay, hackle length.
Hackle length. That's a good question. So on these flies, normally you're trying to get your soft hackle fibers to reach about the back bend of your hook, which is pretty close to what this one did. It's never going to be perfect, guys. These soft hackle feathers are so inconsistent as far as length is concerned. Even in the same feather, they'll start short and they get long. That's why I like to peel them back and try to find where they kind of gauge where the fiber length is all the same on the stem. But yeah, normally on a soft hackle of any kind, we're trying to get the feather to reach the back edge of the hook bend, if that makes any sense. Sorry, it's a mouthful, but something else you can do that I didn't explain on this one because it's not totally necessary, but you can try it, is if you peel all the fibers off of one side of the hackle fiber and then you tie it in, it makes it easier to wrap, but you're gonna have obviously half as much fibers coming off of that feather onto your fly. But if it's a nice long one, you have extra to wrap with, it's easier to work with. So you could peel all of the fibers off one side of the stem and then tie it in and do it. Either way is fine.
Okay. It's time to turn the corner for the second half of the show. Looks like the real Lee Coyle has showed up.
Said he was
But folks, before we go too much further, I have to say, I was going to message this guy today, but I thought it is better to bring it up on the show because absolutely flabbergasted at this gift that we received today in the mail.
Yeah.
I just want this hook to break off
And break the table.
shut the show down. Anyways,
How epic is that?
Chaz, are you kidding me, man? Like, holy frick.
52 aught.
Look at this. Okay?
Not
These
just
are
as
the
a hook.
size of midges on the Bow River.
Yeah.
This,
Crazy.
I believe you forged this. He built this. And we're going to hang it up on the wall.
Yeah.
It is absolutely incredible.
So incredible.
Like freaking awesome. Chaz, if you're there he is. There he is. I don't know if you sell these things, what the deal is, but holy crap, this is so awesome.
It's so
man.
cool.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, man. It's a great piece of art to add to the studio. It's epic.
So
We'll try to tie a hopper on it next week.
yeah, it's incredible, man. That is so awesome. Chaz, like I said, you're awesome. I don't know if you sell them, but throw it out there because definitely a piece of art.
Definitely.
You're not on camera. See,
No.
when you get a tie, it's all you. So for now, it's all me.
It's all you.
Another pretty cool thing. Because it's that time. Okay, I'll let you come into the show. I have too much control.
People need a beardless option as well. You know, it can be overwhelming looking at all that hair.
Whip finisher. Where at buy? Where do you buy the whip finisher? So most of the tools we're using are shore fishing, shore.fishing. Rocky Mountain Fly Shop.net sells shore products now. Okay, so wait, Nathaniel, talk to me about your Vice, because if you were donating your Vice, I know William, who's also on YouTube watching with you, a fantastic human. Okay, I got an extra Vice I'm willing to pass on if you're in Calgary. William, Nathaniel, talk to each other. Because I'm trying to get William into tying flies, and he loves watching. We shot their wedding out in the Sheep River.
Nice.
And it was fantastic.
Oh, the one that was right on the bank.
Yeah, right on the edge.
That's epic.
Okay. Beardless option. Shore or Rocky Mountain Fly Shop. You might want to buy one. Can I send you money, then you buy in Canadian, then send to me? If that message is for us, I'm trying to decode it, but too many things in like my brain. Things get off topic quickly. But what I also want to do is give away.
Did you say giveaway?
Yeah, sure
You
did.
know what that means.
Sure
Get those
did.
fingers ready because they're going to be flying here in a moment.
But before we do something like that, and I need to check and see what the shares are
What
at.
the shares are at.
Anybody tell me? Have you shared?
I shared.
It says
Did you
2
share?
shares. That can't be right. Okay, 60 shares. If we hit 100 shares, we are going to give away some stuff. So we are going to hit it. But a good friend and a local guide, Quinn, who is with Drift Out West Fly Fishing, based out of Calgary, he dropped off. Why? Focus.
Focus. There it is.
Focus. A couple hats, a couple more, but we're gonna do 2 tonight, and some stickers.
Awesome
Some
stickers.
super awesome stickers, representing some really cool things near and dear to Quinn.
He's the first one to make a comment. 54.
You can't win your
Can't
own
win your own
stuff.
stuff.
It's
That's
basically me driving it back to your house, and Quinn wins.
Yeah.
He wants it back. Thanks for the shout out, boys.
Yeah.
I won my hat back.
Yeah.
So yeah, Scott, appreciate the share. We get to 100, and
We give some stuff away.
it's gonna look like this. A sticker pack is one, and then a hat, and then another hat. So there's gonna be 3 giveaways, and I don't know how we're gonna do that, but I do know.
I think I know what the people think's going to happen.
I think they're gonna have to guess a letter or a number. Well, I don't know. Okay. Check the shares.
Check the shares.
Check the shares. The
Where are we
idea
at?
behind the shares is we've hit 125, so let's do this. Okay.
Just like that.
Oh, okay. I try to think of creative ways, but I can't. So
You seem to always revert, you know?
back to the old school.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Okay, let's do stickers, and then what thread should they throw in?
Yeah, so we're tying the bunny leech next.
Bruce.
What did he say? Did you say stickers?
He wins every time
Every
it's
sticker
stickers.
time. It's crazy.
Thread.
Yeah, thread. Anyways, I'm tying. Yes.
Let's
So-
do the exercise together.
We're working with a material that has come from a bunny rabbit. It's got hide underneath it. So this.
Sure. What's the difference in a hare and
Hare
a
and
bunny
hide?
rabbit?
What's the difference in the hair?
Hare,
Ooh, yes,
like
good
the
question.
last one, and
Yeah.
Do you see how we paired these two flies tonight?
You're very, very well done.
You can say thanks to me.
So this has an under leather skin that we're gonna be tying in. So we need a little bit firmer thread. So we're gonna do a 140, or you could say a 3/0 thread. I'm doing it in black because their Leech is black. So there.
Okay.
That's what you got.
Do it in red if you want, because you can do a red hotspot on the front. But let's get these stickers out the door. Okay. The first person who can tell me.
Yes.
I just.
Yes.
The first person who can tell me what their favorite beer is wins the stickers.
Oof,
basically,
easy
it's the
peasy.
first comment.
First comment. Who's it gonna be?
And that's the first comment that we can see.
Yeah, that we can see.
Because it doesn't always come in. Waiting. What is the first person?
It's gonna pop up with 60 comments.
But there it is. Daniel Fox.
Daniel Fox.
That's the winner. Oh, not you. Not you. Stop.
Stop moving.
Stop. We got way too many things showing up. Okay. The winner was
Daniel Fox.
Daniel Fox. Daniel. Info at flyfishingbowriver.com. And those are your stickers.
Stickers yours.
Please remind me. Okay.
Yes.
Now I need a beer. Okay. Let's say thanks to our sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
Grab yourself a beer. Put 20-pound black mono in your bobbin. And we'll be right back.
There are a lot of great rotary vices on the market, but only the Norvise spins the hook. It's for this reason that it's been said the Norvise is the most innovative fly tying system on the market.
We all deserve the right to stay organized, no matter what or where your space is. Your Flykia table will turn any space into a well-organized fly tying realm. Own your domain.
I wonder if we could talk without talking, and if people would be trying to turn up their volume, and then we'd just go boom,
bah,
bah,
get them,
bah, boom.
Black sheep.
Okay, baba. It's pretty much black sheep that you're doing.
All right.
This is not last week's fly.
No. So this is our bunny leech. Really, really simple fly. Only 2 materials. Similar techniques we've used to tie last week's fly, actually. But yeah, really good pattern. Dances in the water. Only downside to this one, similar to the marabou leech, is it holds on to water. So if it was a giant fly, it might matter. It's not a big deal with this guy. So we'll get right on tying this one. So in your kit, or if you're just tying at home with your own material, we're gonna use a nice and long streamer hook. This is a size 4. Okay, so it's got some size to it.
So does it have some size to it?
It does.
4 sizes to it.
So go ahead, get that secured in your vise. Ooh, I gotta take this earpiece out.
I know. This is what I have to do all the time. See?
It's hard. I give it
more
to you.
props to me.
Yeah, a little, not too much.
So if you don't center your hook on the Norvise.
Yeah, so if I were to take this hook and put it up here, obviously then when I spin it, you can see the axis isn't in the right spot. So it's important to get what truly is inline rotary function, is I got to drop that hook down, get it into the bend, and set it. Now this is by no means pushing the limits of the Norvise when it comes to size of this hook. But Norvise also does make large jaws. So you could, when doing streamers, you could also do the streamers. Oh, I cannot get this in there straight. In their larger size jaws. And they also have smaller jaws. So you could use, you could even use that last fly we did and put it in smaller jaws. Okay? So this is what we have here. And as a very wise person said once, when you secure this in your vise, your hook should break or bend before it comes out of the vise.
Who was that?
I don't know who said that. But it's a true statement. Holy man, why is this so hard to get straight in there? Okay.
That's
now it's
because
straight.
you've had a beer.
Nah, not that. But yeah, so that's how we're gonna set it up in our Norvise so we can still run it in the inline rotary function, okay? Really simple fly, guys. All we're gonna do here is start by laying a nice thread base down. So I'm gonna come in.
You just spin your vise. Like, stop doing that. You're gonna.
I'm just getting started.
You can't keep this up for a long time.
So this is why you need a Norvise. One of the very...
Yeah, see that wrist? I'm doing nothing. You can tie for 25 years longer than a normal fly tire.
You're quite the salesman. Quite the salesman.
Question.
Yes.
I believe I remember now. Was when you go back on the hook bend, how do you... I think Brent said this about not catching the point of the hook when you're wrapping.
Yeah, and that's a good question. So that is the danger zone, right? We come into here, and if I go like this and nick it too many times, if that was a 70 denier, that's already broken, okay? So the key is when you get in nice and tight, you gotta adjust your angle. So instead of being straight wraps like this, I need to come at an angle, okay? And start diving down into that bend. But my angle's now gone from vertical to at an angle, and try to avoid being anywhere near that point. Okay, on a Norvise, it's simpler because I come in, let's say I get nice and close down, I just stick my bobbin because it's keeping in mind it's pulling line off of this retractable bobbin. All I do is spin and I send my bobbin into the bend for me. Okay, pretty simple. Now that I've got a lot of extra thread on this hook, we'll get to our next material. So in your packages here, guys, you're gonna have just two things. You're gonna have some red crystal flash.
Looks like Bruce Cameron said he got 2 fully tied bunny leeches. Does that mean we gave you an extra tied one and not the material?
Yeah, that's a good
Talk
question.
to me, Bruce.
We are fully human and not perfect. We'll say that.
Yeah.
When you get to packaging as many materials as we did, it's yeah.
But if you didn't get the material, feel free to take one apart.
Yeah. Figure that one out. Okay, so materials we have in our kits here. We've got this red crystal flash. Now what I want you to do is do your best to line up the tips. And we're gonna take, let's say, 5 or 6 of these, okay? We're not going crazy. Don't need a ton. But 5 or 6 strands, it's probably about half of what we gave you. We definitely gave you more than you need. But what I'm gonna do is, just because I know the overall length of what this stuff is and working with it and tying a few flies already today, I'm gonna bring my thread back to about the middle of my hook. Now I'm gonna just fold this in half around my thread.
Do you love my tunes?
This is better. This is much better.
Is it?
I think so.
I think it's terrible.
No. So all I've done, guys, I folded around my thread, and this technique I've showed you multiple times. Now I get to choose where this material goes just based upon it's wrapped around my thread. So I can pull it down, secure
What size of hook should you tie this fly?
This is a size 4. This would be as big as I would go. You could tie this easily down to a size 8 or 10. For
12,
more of a micro
14
leech.
micro leech.
Yeah, just the thing that gets hard is you kind of got to go away from rabbit zonker to maybe squirrel zonker because it's finer and smaller. So it kind of adjust it for the size of the fly that you're tying. Okay, now that I've got that secured there, all I'm gonna do is gonna start putting some thread wraps back over top of it until I get back to where I finished up with my thread right on top of the hook bend. Okay, I'm basically gonna get to about where the barb is. Lay your thread down, you can check it. So from here, we've got our crystal flash off the back. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually trim it so that it isn't just cut off straight. that's probably fine too, but the artist in mind would say, let's try to taper it a bit. So tapering material, well, how do we do that? This is probably the first time we've kind of done this with you guys. I want the longest piece to be the full length of the hook shank. So I'm just eyeballing it, but I'm guessing that's about here, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come in with my scissors, start back here, and every little bit, I'm just gonna cut another fiber as I move back until I hit that point. So they're not all the same length, okay? There's a few that are pretty close to the same length.
Ooh, look at those scissors. Sharp.
They are sharp.
Sharp.
Sure sharp.
Sure sharp. They sure are sharp.
Sure sharp.
Are those scissors sharp?
They
They sure are.
They sure are sharp.
Benoit, an idea for a commercial.
Yeah.
Oh, they sure are.
They sure are. So a little bit of taper into that crystal flash. Now what this is kind of trying to simulate is what we'd call a bruised leech. Okay,
Bruised.
so bruised leech. That can
How do
be
you
done
bruise a leech?
I don't know, hit it, flick it,
Tap it, twist it,
tap
bop
it, twist it, bop it.
Did anyone play that, or was it just me? You remember that?
What game are you talking about?
It was a drinking game.
Oh no, I definitely didn't play that game.
And it was a toy-ish thing. And you
Oh,
had to
it's-
tap it, twist it, bop it,
yeah.
turn it.
What was that called? It's like the shake weight.
Tap it, twist it, bop it, turn it. I think.
What was that thing called? One more time.
I don't know.
Oh, man.
Ben Armstrong probably knows.
Yeah, I'm
He's
sure.
into drinking games. He's
great.
screaming SOS.
Who's screaming
Hey,
SOS?
Ben,
Ben!
we just put the thread on.
What more do you need, bro?
I think he's a trickster.
Trickster.
Bob it, bop it, flick it, bop it, see?
Sharp.
Shore sharp. What sharp shear, a shiny shear, shore sharp fly.
If a shore shizer could sharp shy. Okay. That's
It
enough
was bop it.
alliterations. Bop it. Yeah. I
Look at
remember
that. Mark played it at Western Michigan. That is where I played it
Is
too.
that where you played it too?
Yeah.
Nice.
Mark, did you ever play Schnarples? Have you heard of
I haven't
Schnarples?
heard of Schnarples.
Oh gosh, anyways, tire fly.
Anyways.
It's a Thursday Night Live fly tying.
So this material here, guys, like I said, this is rabbit fur up top, and it's got the hide basically that they've tanned and how they've stripped it off. What we want to do is we want the very back of the fiber, so including the fur out here, not considering the leather that's on the underside. We want that to be an overall length of the hook. Okay, so again, I'm just going to measure here. I'm going to translate that to the back, and that should basically be right at the very back crystal flash fiber. Now what we need to do is wet your fingers somehow. You're going to lick them, have some other way to do it. We got to pull.
What's it? Do you have suggestions?
No, I don't.
Like,
That's it. No, I don't. Certainly not. So we need to pull those fur fibers back and separate them. So we're not putting our thread wraps over top of those fibers because we want to use them. So I've pulled them back. I've made a little spot on that leather. Now I'm going to take a nice gathering wrap. Now I want that fur to stay right on top, so it wants to spin it a bit. I'm going to bring it back, pinch it down with my fingers, make sure it's on there good, and I'm going to add a few more wraps. Lift the fur up, get underneath it and put a couple more wraps. Okay, so that's good and secure. We know it's not going anywhere. Then I'm going to advance my thread forward. Right up to the hook eye, I'm going to throw a half hitch in and get it out of the way. I'll give you guys a second to catch up.
Ketchup and mustard.
Ketchup and mustard.
So, while everybody's catching up, if you think the music is weird,
I like it. It's not bad tonight.
I'm almost falling asleep over here.
Find some metal or something.
Yeah, I just can't quite figure out how to get some boom-bastic.
Maybe there's a song called Bop It.
I'll check. I have no way of searching that stuff. Okay. Shay is having a mess. And we agree. Oh, weird. We like it. It's weird.
Yeah, it's good.
But
Weird, I
we're
like it.
weird.
You're weird.
So, Doug, Elaine Lee, there's no better time for a bad joke by Doug than right now.
There is no better time.
I would like to find Crazy Train. I also like music. I do not like silence.
Got any One Direction?
I
But for real though, you got
so I feel like I'm talking.
You are
and I'm
talking.
not there. If you're concerned about the music, it's a
Join the club.
legitimate concern. But being that the Facebook is pretty picky on the music that's played in the background, we have to go with this music that's basically copyright-ish free. And
There's your joke. Don't let it
okay,
disappear.
wait. What is the difference between a problem and a challenge?
Oh man,
And
the wife. Oh man, I hope she's watching. Oh, that's good. Problem and a challenge.
Oh yeah. Okay.
What's it gonna be?
What is the difference between a problem and a challenge?
Let's see it. What is it?
Waiting
Tell
in
us.
suspense.
Yeah, in suspense here.
Our fly is half tied. One can only tie flies listening to Kylie Minogue, the wife. Apparently, the wife is a common
That's a
answer.
common answer, yeah. Seems to be.
We're
Come on,
waiting.
Elaine.
Doug?
Yeah, the suspense is killing us.
I think she walked in and said, "Enough, Doug."
The way you see it, that's not a bad answer. The way you look at it.
Ben, I know the difference between jam and jelly, and it is not appropriate. It is
Wait a
not
second.
appropriate.
There it is. 3 boys and 1 girl equals a problem. 1 boy and 3 girls is a challenge. Oh man. Yep.
Well,
Problem.
and I don't think he's talking about raising kids.
I don't think so. I maybe creating them, but not not raising them.
Well, there's a good
There it
cheer
is.
for
There it is.
Doug. So
Nice.
okay. Everyone drinks.
drinks,
Yes,
yeah, we can do
everyone
that.
drinks.
Cheers.
Take a drink. Here we go.
And that's another episode of Terrible Jokes with Doug.
Yeah. Well, Ben, the joke you just brought up is one of my favorite. Definitely. Do you know it?
No.
Oh, I'll
What
tell
is-
you after.
Okay.
It's not good.
It's not
It's
good.
not good for the show.
Okay. Let's avoid that.
So, all right,
Okay.
we're back.
So I did see a note that said, I missed how you tied in at the back. Very, very simple. I measured to make sure that my tail was going to be the same length as the overall length of my hook. I separated the fur like I could do up here again if I chose to. Separate the fur, tie in on that spot, and then we can fold the fur back over. So there is fur, same fur as this, but it's called crosscut. So sometimes people would just tie in the tail like so, get rid of this fur, and then use crosscut, which is a little bit easier to wrap and supposedly it'll fold back easier. I don't find a challenge with this stuff at all. This folds back really nice. But what we're gonna do from here, again, moisten your fingers however you choose. We wanna pull those fibers rearward, okay? And now all we're gonna be doing is palmering forward, okay? So wrapping this fur all the way forward until we get to the eye. But it's important that the underside, you'll see, if you can see right here, the leather, you shouldn't wrap back on the leather portion. You wanna wrap forward, like so. So it's just a continuous motion that goes forward, okay? And it's never wrapping over itself, okay? So if I start back here again, all I'm gonna do is pull those materials rearward and start wrapping forward, okay? I'm gonna use my rotary function because I like it. And if I ever find fibers are getting locked down, all I'm gonna do is bush them up as I go. So I kind of plump those fibers up on every wrap, making sure they're not getting caught on themselves. I'm gonna go one more wrap up here to the head, basically get one full rotation in right at the head of the fly. And once I've pulled my rabbit strip straight up, so I'll show you this last piece. This is one full rotation right behind the hook eye. Once I get it vertical, again, make sure that there's no trapped fibers. I'll bring my thread back. Now it's important that I separate the fur again, okay? So I'm gonna pull some fur so it separates. I'm gonna get a thread wrap behind it, make a good tug. That's why I got that strong thread, okay? Do one more, then pull all those materials rearward and get some thread wraps in front of it. Just as important as the ones behind, the ones in front, okay? Now I'm gonna come in here and I'm just gonna snip out this fur kind of as close as I can get my feathers in without snipping the thread. This is where I snipped my thread earlier. Get rid of that little chunk. And now we're gonna have a little bit of a tag of some of the leather under portion right there. All we're gonna do is bury that in some wraps, okay? We're gonna make a nice little cone head shape thread wraps. And if you're using red thread here, even better, then it's an egg sucking leech. Or if you had a red bead on, I'll show you what one of those looks like here momentarily. I put one together already. So once I've got that there, I like how that looks. I'm gonna kind of stroke the fibers so they're all pointed rearward. And that's a sexy fly right there, okay?
Yeah, especially because you stroked the
'Cause I
fibers
stroked it back.
rearward.
Looking for the good spot. Here we go.
The
Whip
best
finisher.
part, hold tight, hold that, don't even, oh,
Oh, I should have listened to your advice.
oh, huh. Hey guys, I'm just over here changing cameras and telling bad jokes. And now Tim listens to my advice.
Yeah, sometimes.
When that tip works great is with a downward eye, because that whip finish usually falls off and it's frustrated.
You've made a dam of the thread wraps and they all want to fall off the front of that downturned eye. Yeah.
So, sorry, Adrian, gotta pick on you. He's trying to tell a joke. He goes, I'm so broke, I fartess I to my wallet so I could have some gas money. And then he writes it again and says, I'm so broke, I darted into my wallet. I think,
oh man,
I think he's typing with one hand while tying flies.
Hopefully.
And I think what he meant was, I'm so broke, I farted into my wallet for gas money. just to help you out.
Quite turn out that way.
Could you add a booby head?
Yeah, depending on the purpose in which you want to fish it. So booby eyes, foam, massive foam eyes that basically you fish it on a sink tip in a lake the majority of the time. It dives down, but the fly still wants to float, so it gives it this darting motion. It goes down and it rises up, down and rises up. So many different things you could do with this fly. I'm gonna show you one with a bead on it here as soon as I get some resin on this guy.
No, that's not resin.
Sorry, Sally Hansen, whatever you want to call it.
You do not want to bring on resina. So if you guys have noticed, we stopped using resin
because I kept crashing the show.
Don't have resina.
Okay, so that's what the leech looks like completed. I'll show you this guy here quick. This one is just I whipped up before the show, and this is just done with a cone head. Okay?
Wow.
So very easily, all I did is add some weight, made it an egg sucking leech. I could just as easily put a black one on there if I wanted weight. And you could also put lead wraps underneath your thread wraps if you wanted some added weight. That also would in turn bulk up the look of the fly because it's a bigger diameter on the hook shank. Yeah, so it's pretty cool techniques of tying this one. Again, like last week's leech, very, very simple. Don't come to the Bow River expecting to fish with leeches because we don't have them in our river, which is a bummer.
None.
Not one. But yeah, great pattern. And so now just think in your head, we've taught you 2 weeks worth of leech patterns. But actually what we were teaching you is streamer patterns that can be ultimately varied to meet your water. So let's just use this for a second. Think, I put a black tail on this guy and then I switched to a rabbit zonker that was olive or red or brown. You got so many different things you could do with these simple patterns.
Throw a couple rubber legs under the collar here.
Yep. Put a collar
flash
on it.
at the bead on the cone on the front.
Yep.
It's cool because you don't have to always follow a pattern because you just add things. Just don't go around naming flies like people.
Yeah.
This is the turd burglar, and it's.
You can just do so much with everything. With all these patterns, they're so diverse. Be creative. Use different materials that might not look similar, but you know, just have a different function. The only way you're gonna figure out how they work is if you try it. So use your imagination. Try a lot of different things.
And if you have one of those, what are they called? Those
Chas has ones, those swimming tubes.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you got one of those to throw out, you know where to send it.
Yeah.
This way.
Okay, folks. So what you are curious about is how to win one of these awesome hats from our friend Quinn at Drift Out West Fly Fishing, based out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada, floating the infamous Bow River. Non-toxic wire. Interesting though, in Alberta, I'll speak for Alberta, we can't use lead shot on waterfowl. I'm not talking shooting over ponds, but even in a field. But you can use lead wraps and flies.
Well, and you could shoot a pheasant on the same field you shoot a goose. You could shoot the pheasant with lead, but you can't shoot the goose with it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's got me
but
going.
There's a lot of options now, guys, and that's right. What Quinn said up there, non-toxic wire is is a thing now. I know to fish in our national park, like in Banff, you can't use any lead products at all. So I think a lot of it is moving away from lead wraps.
Yeah.
We call them lead wraps,
felt.
but most of the time it's lead-free wire, tungsten or whatever, 3 times as much. But
yeah, well, same with the shotgun and stuff. Who in here loves to waterfowl hunt? I miss it.
Yep,
a lot.
I miss it too.
I think they kind of go hand in hand. Because in waterfowl hunting, you got to get those birds to be so close to you, like fly fishing, very intimate.
Yeah.
Okay, because I can't think quick enough for these giveaways, I just want to say thanks to the sponsors, and I got 1 minute to think of a plan, so hold tight.
There are a lot of great rotary vices on the market, but only the Norvise spins the hook. It's for this reason that it's been said the Norvise is the most innovative fly tying system on the market.
We all deserve the right to stay organized, no matter what or where your space is. Your Flykia table will turn any space into a well-organized fly tying realm. Own your domain.
Okay, so I figured it out.
He didn't figure it out.
Yeah, I did. Tim figured it out.
Hey, if you're taking credit for your good things, I'm taking credit for mine.
Okay, so if you remember a few weeks ago, I was just trying things with tying, just for fun. Tim decided to throw it in the vise.
Well, I think it deserves a second look, really.
Yeah, but anyways, I decided to crush a ton of flies this week.
You did.
And there's no credit given. There's none.
0.
No credit.
I will say, they did look. I would probably fish them.
No, you will fish them.
I will fish them.
You will, because I owe you a few.
Just a few.
Benoit hunts and guides for waterfowl about 60 to 75 days a year, and it's addiction just like fishing. I used to guide waterfowl, and it ruined it for me.
Yeah.
Because the people were killers, savage beasts, and now we have a pretty deadly setup, and we just go for fun. So if you're in the area and you want to have fun, hit us up, and we will definitely do that in season.
In season, yeah.
We are all the eyes. What?
We're all the eyes glued shut. I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean.
Yes, he's trying to make fun of my flies that I tied, saying, did the eye of the hook get glued shut?
Oh, gotcha.
Well, folks, I don't use glue because my knots are impeccable. And glue is just, you know.
Yes.
All right, here it is. You want to win this hat? The first person, no, I can't say that. This one. Okay.
Nice.
So, Tim,
Yep.
point out what the top shelf is. Okay, so
Top shelf.
if you've been paying attention, we changed the items in the top shelf
Every week.
every
something
week.
different.
And you're going to want to note that throughout the season. Because tonight, I need to know what was in the top shelf last week. Episode 5, the first person to put it in the comments wins this
Drew wins that hat.
hat. Okay, so let me know.
What is it? What was it? Let's see who gets it.
It's not a painting.
Not a painting.
It's like the comments just get, nope, sure, nope.
Not a short hat. No. Yeah,
this-
there it is. Up, up, up. Mike Dumont.
Oh, there it is. Mike Dumont.
There it is. Yep. You got it. It was.
Even though you made fun of my flies.
That's what was in there last week.
There. Okay. So, Mike, email me info@flyfishingbowriver.com and we will get that to you. Now we have another one.
One more.
Drift out west fly fishing. You got that, folks? And Quinn is in here. He might be under. Oh wait, we got Pick of Dana.
Yeah, some of you guys knew it. Yeah.
Yeah, hat from Oman, exactly.
Yeah.
Bernie Sanders sitting on the chair. Gosh, I've been
Yes.
trying to figure that out. I'm always afraid. But you know what? The show is about to. We got lots of time. We'll figure that out for next time. Okay. How do we do the next one? I can't.
I think we
guess-
gotta go back to classic.
Okay.
The people want it. At least one.
All right, folks. You need to pick a number between 1 and between 0 and 200.
Go.
And the first person to get that number on our screen wins this awesome hat from Drift Out West Fly Fishing.
Awesome. Let's see
Oh,
it.
Mike wins again. He wins 2 hats. Frick. What the heck? Well, Mike, it's
That didn't take long. It's a lucky
I guess
guy.
Mike. Yeah. Well, Mike, you won 2 hats. So if you'd like to give this hat back,
You want to give the hat back, you go
if
again.
you want both. Yes. All
What?
right.
Redraw?
Finally.
That's a good tune.
Yeah. We're just enjoying the music. Maybe it's too loud. I don't even care.
I don't know. Who knows?
I don't even care. Because it's Thursday and we have a blast with you guys every single week. I think the comments are still
Just
coming
keep
in.
coming.
But they've already won. And do we have more to give away? No, I think we're.
I think that's all for the day, isn't it?
I think that's it.
Yep. For today.
Ah, Alicia Underwood.
come back.
Welcome. It's been a while.
Hey, Alicia.
Eugene, You're right.
You're right.
But you're not first.
But you're not first.
I could. Oh wow! Look at the comments are
Holy
populating now. I cannot raffle this off.
Nope.
It actually doesn't belong to me. Yeah.
That stinks.
So that stinks. You said it.
Yes! Dad joke win.
Oh man.
Nailed it.
Yeah. It's the hardest part of the night. Saying goodbye.
I know. We're not good at it. Haven't figured out how to do it yet.
I hate to see you go, but I love to watch you leave.
Touche.
Trout Maharisha. It belongs to the skunk. That's Chris, exactly. Ron, we appreciate you tuning in.
Man.
Cam, even though you didn't get your kit, you participated, and that's all that matters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think I finally found the playlist.
You finally found a good playlist
Yeah.
at the end of the show.
Well, that means good things coming next week. Speaking of next week,
It's on the menu for next week.
don't leave, folks. We're not done yet.
Sean, I'm not sure I'm ready to chug next week. Maybe the week after.
All right. I think I have to really give this hat. So.
Oh man, yeah. That's the hat right there.
I'm going to puke.
Yeah. Keep going.
Okay, here we are. Oh.
Shake it out.
Can you read this? All right. Episode 7 next week is the stimulator.
The stimmy. That's a great pattern. Woo!
And a midge larva.
Midge larva.
All right.
Well, that's
Jamie Kerr. Did he ever get back to us?
Yeah, Jamie. I never saw a message back from you, but Jamie was hoping he owns Chucker Fly Apparel. He wants to give away some gear. So Jeremy, reach out to us again. Yeah, man, we'd love to give away some of your stuff if you want to send it out. Yeah, let us know.
Tiger King hat. The stimulator. Have to get my wife to watch that one.
So good. The next one's good
The
too.
stimmy for the Gaspot.
Get my wife to watch that one.
Yeah. That one is good.
That's good.
So-
Well played.
Oh,
played.
man. This is better than fly tying.
Definitely.
I'm dizzy. Seriously.
I
Not
can't-
doing well.
I can't spin. I don't know how you do
I
that.
got some beer left. We're not going to leave until the
That'll
beer.
calm it. Yeah.
Yeah, so check out Doug's Instagram, 007 DCR, and he puts all the flies in his fly tester,
Oh, nice. Yeah.
so you can see him swimming or floating, whatever they do. Still dizzy. Not coming back from this one.
Spinning is a mistake.
Yeah.
My kind of people. Yeah.
So look up the fly merkin, and then look up what a merkin is.
Am I gonna need to clear my search history after this?
Riley Beaton, Dana Gru's. Yeah, I did. I grew out the skin on my
Scalping.
scalp too. I love this skunk hat. I think we should sell them.
It's very real. Yeah.
Well, it is real.
I know.
It's like
The dried face right there.
pretty bird.
It's the pretty
Can
bird.
you say pretty bird? Oh yeah. What kind of bees give you milk? I don't know, Ben.
man.
I don't trust
I don't
your
trust your
answers.
answer, man. Oh, dude.
Fake snatch hair. All right. That's a merkin, I believe.
Yeah. Nice.
Size doesn't matter for the stimulator. This is a support group, Ron.
Any hand will do. I mean, any hackle will do.
Yes. Size doesn't matter, Ron. Tell your wife we said it doesn't matter.
So bad. This was not a PG-13 night.
No, this ran away. And this isn't even a sleepover night.
Oh man, that's too good.
I should dye a streak in my beard to
Yeah, that
match
would look
this.
good. Nice. How much are they, Sven?
Yeah, Sven Googled how much skunk hats are. And I would like to know. Okay, folks.
I think it might be time to shut
Things
this
are
crowd
falling
down.
apart quickly. So, I'm Dana Lattery.
And I'm Tim Hepworth.
And as always, you guys frickin' rock.
Yeah. Great night. So much fun.
Yeah.
The only problem with getting to next Thursday is going through Monday, Tuesday.
Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday.
Sunday. Can't wait to see you.
But yeah, if you want to be on the podcast, fly fishing saves lives. Shoot me a message. And until then, folks, I freaking love you guys. Seriously, fantastic people. And I'm honored to sit here and hang out with you guys on Thursday. Until then, we'll see you then.
Guys.
That's not even a... Can't even... Until then, we'll see you then.
See you then.